Today we're going to take you on a tour of one of the most popular places in the Swiss Alps.
Jungfraujoch.
Like with our other videos, we're not just going to show you a vlog. We're going to actually take you along with us on the experience so you can learn how to have a great time at the Jungfraujoch too.
First, we'll explain how to get there using public transportation from Interlaken, Lauterbrunnen, or Grindelwald.
Next, we will follow the Jungfraujoch tour to show you the observatory, snow activities, and the ice palace, plus what it's like to hike to a mountain hut at nearly 12,000 feet.
Then, stick around to explore the highest chocolate shop in Europe and learn how to save money on your Jungfrau experience by buying the best train pass to reach the Jungfraujoch.
But I'm so excited that I don't want to wait any longer, so let's get going.
There are 3 main ways to get up to Jungfraujoch. No matter which one you choose, the final leg of your journey will be the same. From the Eiger Glacier station, you'll ride the Jungfraubahn through tunnels in the Eiger and the Mönch all the way up to Jungfraujoch. But how you get to Eiger Glacier is up to you. The first option is to train from Interlaken to Lauterbrunnen, then switch to the train that goes up to Wengen and continues to Kleine Scheidegg. From there, you switch to another train that takes you to Eiger Glacier and finally to Jungfraujoch. This entire journey takes about 2 hours and 5 minutes. Your second option is to train from Interlaken to Grindelwald main station. There, you'll switch to the train that descends deeper into the valley, and then climbing steeply and slowly directly across the base of the north face of the Eiger with sweeping views of Grindelwald and Mannlichen. This train ends at Kleine Scheidegg, where you'll switch to the final train headed to Jungfraujoch. Expect this journey to also take about 2 hours and 5 minutes. Your third option is to train from Interlaken to Grindelwald Terminal and take the new Eiger Express directly up to Eiger Glacier, there switching to the train to Jungfraujoch. This is the fastest route, taking 1 hour 35 minutes. We're leaving from Wilderswil today and taking the Eiger Express from Grindelwald Terminal, so we're going to board here on the back of the train. If you're coming from Interlaken, head to platform 2. If you're going to Lauterbrunnen, choose 2A. If you're going to Grindelwald, choose 2B. That's because the train stops here in Zweilutschienen and splits in 2, with the front half going to Lauterbrunnen and the back half continuing to Grindelwald. So you'll want to make sure you're on the back half of the train. If you're not, don't worry, you'll have 2 or 3 minutes to switch cars, and you probably won't be the only one hopping trains. If there's any doubt, these screens will let you know you're in the right place.
We've made it to Grindelwald Terminal. This new station has public bathrooms, a grocery store, a pharmacy, a sports and clothing store, and tourist shops. So if you need anything, this is the best place to find it. But the reason we're here today is to take the Eiger Express to Eiger Glacier station. And I'm ready to get to the top of Europe, so let's hop on board. The Eiger Express is the world's most modern tri-cable gondola, and once those doors close, you're just 45 minutes away from reaching the top of Europe. Enjoy the views of Grindelwald and Mannlichen on the way to Kleine Scheidegg.
In true Swiss fashion, Eiger Glacier Station is an engineering marvel with plenty of amenities. There are restaurants with great views, loads of hiking trails, luggage lockers, and of course, bathrooms. Let's board the Jungfraubahn. Your ticket for the Jungfraubahn is also your entry to Jungfraujoch. Prices are steep, often more than 200 Swiss francs per person. But stick around to the end of today's video and we'll share exactly how to get there for a much cheaper price.
This took 16 years to build, from 1896 to 1912, and it cost approximately 16 million Swiss francs. Every week, someone walks the 9 kilometers along the track between Kleine Scheidegg and Jungfraujoch just to check the railway. And when this train goes downhill, it generates its own electricity. And it's been doing that since it opened in 1912.
Those facts are pretty cool, but this is way more fun.
About halfway up, the train makes a 5-minute stop at Eismeer so you can get a view of the Aletsch Glacier. You'll definitely start to notice the temperature difference, and since the average temperature at Jungfraujoch is -8 degrees Celsius, be sure to wear pants and pack some layers.
At this point, you're probably wondering about seat reservations. You can reserve a seat for 10 francs per person, and that includes children of all ages. But when we talked to somebody in the rail office this weekend, they said we probably wouldn't need one. My suggestion would be go midweek and come early in the day, and you'll probably be okay without one. One of the best things about visiting Jungfraujoch is how simple they've made it. There's a self-guided tour with over 10 stops to help you experience all the activities at the top of Europe. So we're gonna follow the route and show you everything along the way.
By the way, everything we show you today is included in the cost of your ticket unless we tell you otherwise.
The first stop is the Jungfraujoch train station. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is the highest railway station in Europe.
When you first walk in the building, you'll notice this, the highest post office in Europe, and it even has its own postal code. I planned ahead and wrote some postcards just so I can mail them from here. That was so exhilarating. I know I'm just mailing a letter, but maybe it's the altitude.
And right next to the post office box is this really cool passport station. I have a feeling a lot of people miss this, so bring your Jungfrau travel guide and get it stamped. It's a quick and easy tourist thing to do while you're up here.
The second official stop on the tour is right here at the luggage lockers. Plan to spend about 2 to 4 hours up here, so if there's something you don't want to lug around the whole time, you can stash them here. But keep in mind that it gets cold, so you'll probably want to carry your layers with you, and you will definitely thank us when you reach number 8 on the tour.
Do you hear that eerie and dramatic music? Maybe it's just in my head. Either way, that's where we're headed next. This is the Panorama, a 4-minute, 360-degree video about the Jungfrau in all types of weather.
The combination of motion graphics and altitude definitely make me a little bit dizzy. Although we're only at 11,000 feet, you probably won't experience any altitude sickness. Personally, I'm a little bit tired and slightly winded, but just take your time and take it easy when you're here.
Speaking of dizzy, this elevator whizzes you up 108 meters in 27 seconds to the Sphinx Observatory.
Once you reach the top, you're standing on the top of Europe. Well, kind of. This is actually only the second highest observation platform in Switzerland, but the views are still one of a kind. By the way, before you head outside, make sure you put on your sunglasses because it's really bright out there. Supposedly on a clear day, you can see all the way to Italy, France, and Germany. I'm assuming we can see that today. I'm just not sure what I'm looking for, but the weather is perfect.
That dome up there has been a research station and astronomical observatory since 1922. They used to study high-altitude medicine and astronomy, but now they study lots of other stuff.
But I do know what that is. That is Aletsch Glacier, Europe's longest glacier at 23 kilometers. In fact, that's where we're heading next.
If you're lucky, you might even catch a super unique sporting experience. From golf to tennis to track and field to tightrope walking, lots of high-altitude sports have been held here.
Did you know that Jungfraujoch is open 365 days a year? And it has snow every single day too, which means no matter when you come, you have a chance to play in the snow.
The snow fun activities include snowboarding, skiing, sledding, snow tubing, and a 250-meter zip line. But these activities are not included in the price of your ticket.
After you're all done playing in the snow, you can take a walk along the Aletsch Glacier to the Mönchsjochhütte, which is the highest manned hut in Switzerland. In fact, that's where we're heading now, so let's get going.
It would definitely be beneficial to have poles on this walk. We both have pretty good hiking shoes, but we're still slipping around and just not really able to grip the snow and ice, and that makes it that much harder.
It's literally incredible to me that we are just walking on a glacier. We didn't have to hike all the way up here. We took trains and lifts, but we're walking on a glacier in the snow at almost 12,000 feet in elevation. That's just awesome.
I'm walking on glaciers and don't feel good. Sorry, that was pretty lame. Felt cooler in my mind. Guess that's what 12,000 feet does to your brain. Also in the summertime, when the sun's beating down and you're walking uphill, it can get pretty warm. So it's time for me to shed a layer.
Wow, talk about being humbled. We just met this lady on the trail who was talking about how she feels so humbled by being surrounded by this magnificent creation, and we totally agree. And then right after that, what happens? We just saw a little avalanche. Nobody was hurt, it was a small one, but I've always wanted to see one of those, and just another reminder of the beauty of creation here.
We made it to the Mönchsjochhütte, or the Mönchsjochhütte. It took us about 35 minutes of walking time, which doesn't include stopping for pictures or video. Now, you can book an overnight stay in this hut if you'd like, or if you want to go climb the Mönch, for instance. But if you just want to come for lunch or cake or coffee, it's open from 11:30 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon, from March to October.
Okay, so we just got in the hut and we didn't know this, but you need to swap your boots for slippers or sandals or Crocs, which makes sense. They can keep the building clean. However, they are European shoe sizes, so it'll be an adventure to see which size slippers we need to wear. Have a little bit of lunch because it's lunchtime and we're hungry, but how often do you get to eat lunch at a mountain hut at almost 12,000 feet? We actually first came to the Jungfraujoch 10 years ago for our honeymoon, but we did not hike here. And let me tell you, this was totally worth it. It was an awesome, incredible experience, and I would recommend it if you come. But now it's time to turn back and go to the station and finish our tour.
Pro tip, bring an extra pair of socks for after you get your feet wet in the snow.
This section of the tour presents the history of tourism at Jungfraujoch. It has a tribute to the 100 Italian workers who helped build it and to the founder as well. So this sensation walk is an interesting experience with lots of sights and sounds and textures, but it kind of just feels like a stop along the way to the next thing, which I'm really excited to go visit.
We're currently walking through 1,000 square meters of ice that was carved in 1934. Now the temperature never gets above -2 degrees Celsius in here, and some of the ice moves up to 6 inches per year. But don't worry, the ground isn't nearly as slippery as you think. I know some of you will be tempted to lick the ice. While I wouldn't advise that, it is fun to touch, and it's so cold, it's not even wet.
A lot of people have asked us my face is so cold. A lot of people have asked us if it's worth visiting the Jungfraujoch. Now we don't know if it's worth it for you, but all I can say is that we are having so much fun up here. Do you think it's worth a visit? Let us know in the comments below. We're curious to hear your thoughts.
If you watched our Swiss food tour video, you'll notice that this is the whiskey I tried at Jungfrau. It's aged for 7 years up here at Jungfraujoch. And if you haven't watched that video yet, be sure to check it out later.
I was so cold in the ice palace that it actually feels warm outside. And that's a good thing because here's another perfect picture spot by the Swiss flag. When I'm up here, I like to play I Spy the Hikers on the trails or the glacier. But if you do choose to hike, make sure you stick to the trails. After all, we literally are on a glacier.
We promise to tell you how you can We promise to tell you how you can save a lot of money on your ticket to Jungfraujoch, which we're going to do in just a minute. But first, our last stop on the tour, shopping and restaurants.
The Swiss are definitely known as watchmakers. Buy a Swiss watch from the Tissot souvenir shop or a Jungfraujoch souvenir from the shop next door. The Lindt Swiss Chocolate Heaven is the highest Lindt chocolate shop in the world. Learn a bit of background about chocolate making and then buy something tasty from the store. And there are 3 places to eat up here, all the way from a coffee and snack bar to a full-service restaurant.
So how do you save money on your tickets to Jungfraujoch? 2 words, train passes. The Top of Europe pass covers 1 trip here and back for completely free. But before you run out and buy that pass for you and your entire family, you're gonna wanna watch this video. After building a spreadsheet and crunching the numbers on a few dozen possible Swiss trip itineraries, we've created what just might be the most comprehensive guide to Swiss train passes on the internet. So watch that if you wanna buy your train pass with confidence. And if you just wanna learn some tactics in order to save money on your trip to Switzerland, watch this next and we'll see you there.